Is this? Hey,
Hefe.
what is going on?
Hefe, you were telling me about your shirt just a second ago.
It's my Earth Force.
Yeah,
shirt,
you're
right?
back with it. When was the
I
last time
haven't
you wore
felt
that?
it's probably early season 3, maybe.
Okay.
I haven't felt comfortable wearing it for quite a long time.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Jeff, I have another question for you.
all right.
Have you done your Valentine's Day shopping yet?
Are we going to do this?
I want to know because I still need to get my wife something and I have no idea. Like, I have no idea. She's not a jewelry lady, so I just can't go buy jewelry. She doesn't like chocolate. Roses are fine, but whatever. Like, I need an idea. And anything, by the way, that I want to go get her, honestly, would wind up being a present for me, not her. So,
yeah, not so good. I'll just say gift giving is not one of my love languages. Don't understand it at all.
Yeah. Okay.
I also refuse to celebrate Valentine's Day.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, it's the one like real bone of contention between my wife and I. She's very romantic. So the obligation on me is that I have to basically do Valentine's at a random time before Valentine's Day. It can't be after.
Gotcha.
But I feel like it's a contrived holiday. So
Sure it is.
Yeah.
But heaven help you if you don't do anything for it.
Yeah. So I just do something for it, but not for it.
Yeah. See, usually, like, because our wedding anniversary was last week.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Happy anniversary, by the way. I'm a jerk.
It's okay. But we usually we kind of do the whole like, hey, this is anniversary and Valentine's Day, but then like we still get something for Valentine's Day too, because that's the way we roll. We our present for our anniversary this year was the trip we took.
Okay, yeah.
Mutual, like, hey, this, like, and we stuck by, like, you know, you do that, you say, this is what we're going to do. We're not going to get anybody, we're not going to get each other a present. This is what we're going to do. And you still get each other a present.
Yeah,
yeah. We didn't do that. Like, we actually, like, no, this was our anniversary gift. And we were, like, nice. We both were like, we talked about it, like, absolutely love this. This was great. I now feel like I should get her something for Valentine's Day.
Probably.
And I saw a mysterious charge on the credit card, which I'm sure is probably whatever she got me. And I'm like, oh. So
it is funny because like a couple of years ago, we made sure that we share an Amazon account, but we have separate Etsy accounts specifically so that, and so that's where we tend to get a lot of our gifts for each other is off of Etsy because the other one can't track it. And all you see on the statement is Etsy.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, something's coming. Look at that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Jeff.
Yeah. Speaking of something coming.
Good night. We are here for a doozy of an episode. Babylon 5. You guys out there, what you're about to watch is Jeff and I recording a podcast. We're doing the audio version. You guys are getting the behind the scenes. This is the unedited, unspoiled, unfiltered version of what it looks like to record a podcast. Frankly, it's the more fun part of the show as well. So welcome you guys here in if you're watching this video. And that also means you get all the outtakes. That means you get the blurbs, you get all the things that we do wrong. You get all the times we stop to say it again and try to make it sound like it's the first time we're saying it.
It's why this one's so much longer than the audio podcast. You get all of our mess ups.
Yes. Yeah. And if you have to pause in the middle of it for some reason and Jeff just sits there and plays the Jeopardy theme while I go tend to a dog who needs to go out all of a sudden or something like that because they don't work on our schedules. Can you make it a podcast? Cross your legs. Yeah, they don't do that. Dog's like, I'm going to go pee in your living room then.
Right here now.
Yes. So fine. So
shall we?
Yes, we shall. Let's do it. We are doing Rising Star, penultimate episode of season 4, Babylon 5. Welcome. And you guys make sure you comment down below, like, subscribe, share the video, all that YouTube stuff. Jeff, hit the button. Let's get it started.
You are valued and you are needed.
You will be Emperor.
I think you're about to go where everyone has gone before.
The year is 2024.
The name of the podcast, Babylon 5.
For the first time.
Welcome to Babylon 5 for the first time, not a Star Trek podcast. My name is Jeff Akin, and I am the one who was.
And I'm Brent Allen, and I am the one who will be.
And we're watching Babylon 5 for the first time for you, the one who is.
And we are two veteran Star Trek podcasters, as Jeff said, watching this show for the very first time. But in doing so, we are taking those skills we've learned as over-analyzing any 45-minute segment of TV, and we're bringing that right here to Babylon 5, where we're searching for what we call Star Trek-like messages, but we're trying to see how they're being done in a Babylon 5 way.
And while this is not an any random sci-fi show podcast, this is a podcast about Babylon 5. So to keep us on target, we play the rule of 3. And the rule of 3 limits each one of us to no more than 3 references to Star Trek per episode.
That's it. 3. Uno, dos, tres. No substitutions, exchanges, or refund.
I have really enjoyed Brent. I have really enjoyed Brent over the past couple of weeks.
You have enjoyed me? Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I enjoy you every week.
Yes.
It's one of the highlights, the many highlights that I have in my glorious weeks.
I wasn't sure where you were putting that comma, so go ahead. What now?
Punctuation matters. But I've really enjoyed over the last couple of weeks seeing people join our Patreon community.
That's been fun, yeah.
It's been really cool. And they're not just joining it because of the cool content that's there or the absolutely amazing community and super cool people, but they're joining because in 2 weeks' time, Brent, you know what we're doing, don't you?
Is it just 2 weeks? Holy cow. It is our season 4 wrap up. This will be the 4th one of these things we've done. Jeff, we just did season 3 like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, seriously. I am still coming to terms with, it's kind of like, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, but it's like writing checks. Like, I'm still not used to writing 2022 and it's 2024. We're in season 4. Like, when did this happen?
Right.
But what we're doing in our season 4 wrap up is an exciting giveaway. It's what we do in all of our wrap ups. And this time we're giving away to a random patron. All you got to do to enter is be someone on Patreon at any level, any tier, enjoy the content, get to know people, and a random person will be selected to win the Babylon 5 Encyclopedia, the complete hardcover in one massive paperback. If you're listening to the audio version, head over to our YouTube and look at this thing. Like, this thing is no joke. It's over 800 pages with, I imagine, everything you could ever want to know about Babylon 5.
You know what I want to know?
What's that?
I want to know what color is predominant in JMS's wardrobe.
I wonder if that's in there.
Listen, it is the complete encyclopedia, right?
It's got to be there.
It should be there if it's not.
But when we
I
select,
gotta tell you, you know what color I think it is?
what's that? Purple. I'm not even going to get to my bank that has that. It's going to be green. I'll just say it. Purple. Green for life. Purple. Green. Purple. Green. We're going to do this. This is going to happen.
Jeff,
Brent,
I need one of those encyclopedias. Now we're not allowed to read it for like another season or so.
It's been so hard because it's been sitting here. Is everything okay? My computer's going weird.
Yeah, your video keeps like fuzzing out for a second and then coming right back.
I said this, like, my whole system kind of hiccuped for a second. That was weird.
Okay. Any winter storms knocking out the system up there?
Yes. It has been so hard having this thing sitting here because, like, I'm not going to look at it. I know we have 23 more episodes from here, and who knows what more we're going to see. So yeah, it's just sitting here. I haven't looked in there. It's killing me.
Yeah, it has taken everything within me to not go to, what do they call it? The Lurker's Guide.
I think so.
On the internet. Or not dive into Wikipedia on Babylon 5, or, there's the little bits that people have kind of dropped here and there and gone, ooh, that's a spoiler. And we're like, yeah, we'll figure that out when we get there. Try to ignore it. But that is absolutely the kind of book I would go through.
Totally.
Absolutely. So in order to get that, Jeff, how do people get that? Because that's our giveaway.
It is. So to go to patreon.com/Babylon5 first, it's the number 5 and the word first. Sign up at any tier, any level that you want, and you're eligible to win. Now, the drawing's going to be in 2 weeks from now. We're going to record before it comes out, obviously, right? So get in there as soon as possible. I would say you've got, 10 days to make that so.
I would say from when next week's episode drops, right? So when the season finale drops, whatever that episode title is, so that'll be on Monday. I would say you realistically have until Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because any point after that Wednesday, we could be recording.
Yeah.
So don't wait.
Don't wait. Get it done. And
Yeah.
like I said, there's cool content. You can get in there really low. You can get in there pretty high. Nothing's going to break the bank. And at every level, there's really cool stuff we're creating and putting out there. And I can't overstate it. There's just a lot of really cool people on the Patreon, on our Discord. So get over there. Patreon.com/Babylon5 first, the number 5, the word first.
Jeff, I need 10 seconds.
All right, cool. Hi, YouTube. Hi. There are always awkward times. And just vamp for a little while. I may also just cut it out. You'll know if there's a hiccup. You won't know that I said that because I just did it. Or you'll know that I would do it that way. So
a problem I have here in Florida at this time of year that you don't. It sometimes gets really hot.
yeah, I don't have that problem. No.
And I'm sitting here and I just felt like a little bead of sweat drip down the back of my leg. And I was like, I got to go turn the air conditioner on because this is not going to be nice.
The air conditioner. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
We live in very different places.
Yes. I also have a pool heater that is running right now as well, getting that water up to swimmable temperatures.
Well, look at that.
Because it is in during the day, but at night, not so much. All right. Where am I? Rule of 3. Okay. You know, Jeff, along with cool stuff like doing giveaways and playing the rule of 3, there's another game we like to play at the end of the show.
Sure is.
Well, there's yet another game that we like to play right here at this part of the show where we look back at last week's prediction and we try to see how close we actually were. So, Jeff, this episode is titled Rising Star. Looking back at last week, what did you say this episode was supposed to be about and how close were you?
I suffer once again from specificity, but I'm just doubling down on the prediction I made in the season 3 wrap up. So I believed that this episode would be Sheridan turning himself in and then using the inquiry board or the tribunal or whatever it was going to be as a platform to unite all the worlds under one banner, the Babylon 5 banner.
Let's see here. I'm going to give you, all right, so he turned himself in.
Mm-hmm.
He did not use that platform.
No.
Although Delenn did. And although he kind of knew about it somehow too. Although I think we'll talk more about it. I think it was more, he just kind of had a feeling it would happen. He was sort of hoping it would happen and was pleasantly surprised when it did happen. But anyway, so I'll give you points for he turned himself in, although that was kind of a gimme. And I'll give you points for uniting the worlds. I didn't see that one coming. Under the Babylon 5 banner, I cannot give you credit for that. So I'm going to give you 2 out of 5. So what is that? 40%. I'm going to give you 0.4% on your prediction here.
I love it. Let's see how you do.
Yeah, well, I said that Sheridan was going to stand before the Board of Inquiry. Turns out he sat, but same thing. I also said he was going to be getting more and more famous, more and more popular. He's going to have more and more clout among the citizenry of Earth. And I said he's going to be offered some high governmental position, maybe even the new president. Although admittedly, I was meaning Earth president, but still, maybe even new president. And that he would have to decide between that and returning to Babylon 5, which ultimately he would return to Babylon 5. And I also said we're going to clean up the Marcus and Ivanova stuff.
We did clean up the Marcus and Ivanova stuff, I suppose. That did happen. And he turned himself in, and he did become the new president, right? Like, it was very new in there. He did a great job on this one. I'm going to give you 75%.
All right.
On this
I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah. I certainly wasn't exact, but there was a lot that I was like, oh, that's how that came about. Okay, cool. I like JMS's way better.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff, some people are sitting here talking and going, what are you talking about? I don't remember any of that. For the folks at home who haven't seen Rising Star in a long time, or maybe they've never seen Rising Star, they're just listening to us, which is totally cool. Hi, by the way, you should go watch this episode, maybe right after we tell you everything about it. Jeff, why don't you tell the folks out there everything about it?
The president is dead. Long live the president. The Earth Alliance political machine still works despite apparent, division. Now President Lutsenko of the Russian consortium has endorsed an investigation into Clark's regime to root out the clear evildoers and separate them from the people that were afraid for their lives and just going along to get along. Sheridan is waiting patiently to hear what his future holds. While waiting, our buddy Bester pays him a little visit. They do their usual sort of veiled threat thing until Bester just asks the million-credit question. Did you send my Carolyn to die as a teepsicle? Sheridan assures him that she's still on Babylon 5 and gives some justification for sending these 30 of the 100 of them to the destroyers. There are plans to return all of them to Earth once things settle down. He leaves Bester with a friendly warning, though. Garibaldi is coming for him, and he can rest assured that he'll be creative, colorful, and extremely unpleasant in what he has planned. In the meantime, though, he's practicing his extremely unpleasant approach to people as he tracks down Lise, he being Garibaldi. Some pretty ragtag punks were going to try and ransom her, but Garibaldi and a crew of rangers rescue her. Over time, this turns out pretty well for Garibaldi, as we see him, for the last time in the episode, lying in bed with Lise, trying so very hard to find just a moment of quiet so he and she can get some sleep. Delen's been busy in Sheridan's absence. She, Londo, and G'Kar have a proposal for the League of Non-Aligned Worlds. A proposal so unheard of that Londo, who we also learned is about to be named Emperor because Regent McJokey Joker guy, the guy we met, some 8 years ago or whatever, is apparently going to die. But Londo says that everybody's going to need a fresh pair of undies once they hear this proposal. On Earth, one of the generals comes in to let Sheridan know that they have made their decision. He, along with his Season 1 caliber acting, step out as the president comes in to tell him what's coming. Sheridan has a choice. Accept amnesty for his crew and take full responsibility for his actions in exchange for his full pension and his resignation from Earth Force. Or he can be dishonorably discharged and brought to trial along with all of his staff, and he agrees to resign. On Babylon 5, Franklin finally arrives, and he gets to Marcus and Ivanova, but he's too late. Ivanova's recovering, and it appears that Marcus has died, having given his life for hers. She is so broken over this, and she can't believe that he did it. She knew that he loved him, but she didn't want to risk ruining her relationship with him. Now that he's gone, she's brimming with regret. Almost top among those regrets was that she never boffed him. Brokenhearted, she says, and later in the episode Linear echoes, that all love is unrequited. The president has called a press conference for Sheridan to announce his resignation. Londo, G'Kar, and Delen are also there. She starts by honoring the sacrifices made on both sides and points out that everyone was fighting for the same thing, an Earth they could proudly call home. At that, Sheridan says some pretty great things, and then he officially resigns. The president then invites Ambassador G'Kar to the podium. He describes the human ability to build community and bring everyone together. He announces the proposal that was agreed upon earlier. You see, the League of Non-Aligned Worlds has been dissolved, and in its place, the Interstellar Alliance. You might recognize this concept under a different name from my prediction for Season 4 and the Season 3 wrap-up. After this, because everyone here is politically astute and understanding timing for delivering really big and important messages, in front of all the humans that have just gone through almost a year of propaganda about the Minbari controlling and manipulating Sheridan and all the anti-Clark people, G'Kar decides to bring up Delenn. Delenn goes into more detail on the Interstellar Alliance, independence for member worlds, free trade, an economic and political alliance. The Rangers will now accept members from all Interstellar Alliance worlds and will not be a military force per se, but they'll help secure borders and will only go or stay where and when invited. They're not going to get involved in interplanetary disputes, but will openly share information with everyone involved. The Rangers and the Alliance are not here to enforce the peace, but to create it. And she closes by inviting Earth to join. The president meets privately with them to negotiate. She's open to the idea, but is going to need something tangible. So Delenn offers to share technology, specifically artificial gravity, so Earth can finally make some cool ships. She agrees to negotiate in good faith and is surprised when she learns who she will be negotiating with. She's going to talk directly to the newly and duly elected president of the Interstellar Alliance, John J. Sheridan. As he heads in to meet her, he sees his dad. He's doing great, and he welcomes Delenn to the family. Through an ISN report, we learn that Earth has agreed to join the Interstellar Alliance. Sheridan's last act as an Earth Force captain was to promote Susan Ivanova to the rank of captain, and she's asked to be assigned to a new Warlock-class destroyer, ultimately leaving Babylon 5. They also share that Sheridan and Delenn were married in a private ceremony. But the honeymoon isn't private, not as private as you'd think. Not only do we see the two of them lying in bed together, but so does G'Kar. Dude left his eye on a shelf pointed right at the bed. It's gross. And then, as we close out the entire series of Babylon 5, Delenn tells us the next 20 years looks... I don't know what the heck I typed here. This is really weird. Here we go. And then, as we close out the entire series of Babylon 5, Delenn tells us the next 20 years hold much joy and much sadness. There's going to be a telepath war, a Drock war, challenges to the Alliance, but ultimately it will endure because love endures. And Babylon 5 endures. Brent, we did it. That's it. Babylon 5. It's over. We've made it to the end, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, we have the series finale next week, which I think is probably, it's going to be, you know what it'll be? A clip show.
Yeah, it's going to be another clip show. This one really will be a clip show.
End the whole thing. And it's what is, they're going to fast forward 20 years into the future, and everybody's moving out of Babylon 5 to go on with their next thing. And the last shot will be Sheridan standing there to an empty living room and just looking around, remembering things, and then walking out as she shuts off the lights. That's next week's episode.
That's going to be it.
This one effectively ended the rest of it. So
exactly. So how did you react to this one? What were your first thoughts on it?
I said 2 weeks ago that episode 21 is kind of a lull. While this one certainly was not action, pew, 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 season finale, explosions, this episode was anything but a lull. You talk about an episode that not answered questions, but wrapped things up, brought things to a satisfying conclusion. Here's what we know, and it's hard to watch this not knowing the real world history, that they thought they were done. They thought they were done. P10 was closing. Babylon 5 was getting kicked off the air too. WB is about to swoop in and rescue them. Or maybe they already have swooped in and rescued them. And they think they're closing out the show. And that's what it feels like. And it feels good. Like, if the show ended right here, I would be perfectly happy with the time I've spent on Babylon 5. And you know what? I'd be left wanting more.
Yeah.
It makes me scared for season 5. Because I'm kind of like, don't ruin it.
Dude, it
Like,
makes
I
me
feel
scared
so
for,
good right now.
It makes me scared for episode 22, let alone season
like
5.
Next week?
Yeah.
Yeah, because so I have no idea how they're going to close this up beyond what they've done today. This episode made me laugh. It made me angry. It made me cry. I don't think I've ever, I mean, Jeff, I'm talking a real tear rolled down my cheek in this episode. I don't think that's ever happened to me before in this show.
Wow.
Like, it got me. It absolutely got me. We'll talk about it. Probably not for very long though. This brought a satisfying conclusion to everything. We know where kind of everybody is and where they're heading off. And, you know, hey, Delenn gave us hey, look, there's this telepath thing. There's this thing with the Droth that's going to be, and it's going to test the Alliance, but it's not going to break. And you're like, you know what? That's cool. Let's go. Here we are. So I enjoyed this episode, every single bit of it. What about you, Jeff?
It was great. This was such a good episode.
Yeah.
It was, I still feel like I still feel that they are compacting and rushing a couple of stories.
Mm-hmm.
But that's mechanics at this point. I think you said it best. Like, I am very satisfied where things ended. If this were the last episode, hooray. I love this series. It's great. It's awesome.
I'm ready to watch it again. Let's go.
I loved the president. I loved Bester. I hated the Ivanova and Marcus thing, but I loved the Ivanova and Marcus thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get it, you know? Like, I get it. It was good. But I have some pretty... I think this people are going to disagree with this, and that's okay. We all have our own experience with the show, but I think that they made a couple pretty serious missteps in this one that pulled me out of it. Delenn took away much more from this episode than she added to it. First, like, literally, like I said this in the recap, but hey, this thing that the Clark machine has been telling you, I'm gonna rub your face in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Minbari are controlling everything. Well, now I'm gonna come up, I'm gonna tell you how it's gonna be. Her delivery, like when she was talking, she's at that podium and talking, it was arrogant. She had an air of superiority as she was delivering these lines, just, and the music behind it had this ominous feel.
Mm-hmm.
If I'd been Joe Average Citizen, just watching ISN, and then I saw this, I would be mortified. This is everything that I've been hearing about for the year actually happening. And then not only does she say these things, they do a full military White Star flyover of Earth Dome. This massive show of military force.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, join us. It's cool. It's fine. If you don't, it's fine. I'm sure nothing bad will happen to you. That whole scene, I think a lot of it was the music on it too. It was ominous. It wasn't victorious or anything, and it really pulled me out of it. I think I'm worried about the next episode. I'm worried about the 5th season, what they're going to do. I loved this episode. I enjoyed it. Don't hear me say that I did not enjoy it, but it's not what I wanted. It's not how I wanted things to go. In fact, my immediate thought was, this is me as a kid telling my parents that I want a Transformer toy. And they're like, cool, we got you some Transformers. And then they whip out some GoBots. And I'm like, yeah, the GoBots are fun too, but they're not Transformers. And that's kind of where I'm left with this episode. Like, it's cool. It's fun. I love what they did, and I get why they did it, right? I get why they had to plug things in here. But while I'm left wanting more, I'm also wanting more from this, and I wish a couple of things were done differently.
I want to talk about the scene with Delenn and making the offer for the new what is it, Interstellar Alliance?
Yeah.
Okay. 100% agree about Delenn's whole piece. I also just sort of wrote it off as I think I'm looking at it in a way that they're not meaning for it to be. When those white stars flew over Earth Dome, it was as threatening as all get out.
Yeah.
Like I would not be okay with that.
No.
Now, I don't know how they do it on Minbar. I don't know how they do it on Centauri, but here, that, you know what that looked like to me? Remember the shot of Londo looking up at the shadow ships flying over the world?
Great call.
That's
Great.
what that looked like to me. I like, this is an invasion. This is not going to a football game and them doing a flyover with a single ship and somebody jumping out and landing in the middle of the field on the logo or anything like that. Like, that's not what this is. What you just told me is those Rangers are going to be the police force.
Yeah.
They're going to be the enforcers. And you tell me they're not. They're just gonna make sure everybody has all the information. They're gonna narc on everybody. But I don't believe it. I do not believe that that's what's coming from you. Outside of, you and I both know that Delenn's a good person. She's a good guy on the show, and so her words have to be true.
You and I know that.
Intent. Yeah, right.
Nobody,
that's what I mean.
Nobody on Earth knows that.
And I think you bring up a fantastic point that I hadn't thought about, Jeff. They just came through the past year and a half of all this propaganda. And you know that, like, at least half those people in the government were kind of on Clark's side.
Yeah.
You know? And this is just feeding into that whole piece. Like, this is going to disrupt the incredibly fragile balance that Earth is in right now, having just had a civil war, having just had their president commit suicide over the whole thing and come out of this. Like, you know, Clark could not have done what he did if he did not have his supporters.
Exactly.
Right. And his supporters are still there. So I had a big problem with that. The other thing I had a problem with was G'Kar got up and he spoke. And then Delenn got up and she spoke. Londo just sat there.
Yep. No Londo.
Like, I would have been perfectly okay if G'Kar got up and said what he said. Delenn got up and said if we could rewrite this episode, Jeff.
Yeah.
Delenn's portion needed to be hey, we are aware that you guys have been taught this whole thing about Minbar and what we are and what we've been doing. And I am here as an ambassador to tell you that is not true. Let me introduce you to these Rangers. These are people that they come of their own free will. And here we are. And here's what we've been able to do to give that. And then she needs to cede the podium to Londo. Right. Well, actually, I think it should have been Londo first. And then the final thing should have been G'Kar.
Yeah. Londo should not be discussing anything military tinged at all.
Right. And if all three of them want to be on the platform at the same time, cool. That's actually probably the way it should be. That presents a united front.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have mind seeing some of the other non-aligned or the new alliance. Show me the, like, those three made up the council. Okay, why are those three making up the council? Shouldn't everybody give me that? That was just a table of like 10 people that we saw.
Yeah.
Put those people, there should be an ambassador from every single one of those worlds at this world inviting people to join. That needs to be the new welcoming committee.
Yeah.
You know, hey, we would love for you to come join us. If you don't want to, absolutely cool. I loved that aspect of it. If you don't want to do this, that's totally cool. Try not to worry about those guys that just flew overhead, though.
Seriously. Yeah. That are right here orbiting your planet that is already war torn and broken.
Yeah. Yeah. That you heard that all of this was just jacked up. Now, that being said, you and I look at that and go, ooh, that's a rough response. And here's some real stuff. Taking it for what the show meant for it to be.
It was actually awesome.
It was amazing.
Awesome. Yeah.
And it was a great next step. The dissolution of the League of Non-Aligned Worlds, which I have hated since episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you not aligned? You like, what is this deal? Align. You guys are here. Do it. Join together. Form something. Right?
Get more
And-
votes. You get one vote collectively. Like, come on.
Yeah, right. So to finally advance to that, to get to this point, was really good to see.
Yeah.
Really, really good to see. Sheridan turning around being the one to run it made all the sense in the world.
Totally.
And actually that plays a lot into what I'm hoping you're going to dive into in your Delta Fury message point later on. If not, I will add my own 2 cents to that. But I mean, Jeff, to me, the best part of this whole episode was sort of the fast one that Sheridan played on. Sheridan played Mr. Long Con on the president, on his Earth Force people, on everybody, and on us. I did not see Sheridan being in on this at all. Let me ask you, I want to get specifically, he's in there doing his whole deal, and the president comes in, and Sheridan's all like, I'm tired of sitting here. Listen, we've met, whatever. The president wants to come talk to you. And she comes in like a boss.
Yeah.
The way a president should come in. What was your response to her? What is your feeling of her as a president? Although she's, she's very much the interim, I guess, right now, or whatever they're going to do. We'll see.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, you got to have somebody in charge, right? What did you think of her offer to Sheridan and her reasoning behind it? Take me through that, because it was such an interesting part of the show. And then fast forward to, what about the response to the offer to join the new Interstellar Alliance?
I'm a huge fan of this president. The way she was portrayed and acted was, total boss. Amazing, incredible, a real leader. I'm going to talk about some of her leadership stuff that she brought in when we get to the Delta Fury conversation, because I mean, some of the stuff she brought up was just like, oh my gosh, this is what we need right now, today, at this moment, is this kind of leadership.
Yep.
But it was fascinating with Sheridan. And I really appreciated the writing in this, because she had that whole piece of like, you did the right thing the wrong way. And then she's like, actually, no, you just did it the inconvenient way.
Right.
And I think that's that mess. Like, she did such a great job describing that mess between what needs to happen and the political way things are better to happen. He left a mess. He left a huge mess the way he did this. But she also acknowledged to him that they wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. Hey, you seceded, so you were the only person that could do this. So thank you. Also, you got to go. And I think partly where she needed him to go was going back to your prediction for this one. He's built up such a groundswell of support, so much notoriety and credibility, that he's a political threat to her and anyone else who would want to be president. So she's like, you got to resign. You got to leave Earth. You got to get out of here, because I can't have you as a political opponent. You're unbeatable. So I feel like a lot of what she did. Oh.
I really want to think better of her than that. Then I'm getting rid of you because of you being a political opponent. And you might take my job away. That's
how it works.
But that's not the way I read it.
Yeah.
When she was talking, she said, you came in here, you did this. Nevertheless, you mutinied. She's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Garibaldi had a point when he's like, what, you're going to tell me I'm doing wrong? Look at where we are and what we did. Right?
Yeah.
You mutinied. You did this. I can't have you here because of all these other people who are going to be looking at that. You cannot, you know what it is? It's the same reason Jon Snow could not take up being king after having been in sorry guys, spoiler alert for the end of Game of Thrones. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch the show. You've been living under a rock, and this part wasn't even the good part anyway. Because he had a relationship with Daenerys. He was honestly disqualified from leading as a king, although he would have been fantastic. They needed somebody else. And I felt like that was 100% right and 100% fair. And she came in and she laid out, she's like, you did this. This is great. We're going to honor you. We're going to give you full honors. and military pension. We're going to make statues of you. Schools are going to be named after you. All of this stuff. At the same time, you can't be around anymore. You are disqualified because you rose to mutiny. And I didn't see that as because you're now a political opponent, but I can't have somebody who always rose to mutiny in this situation, almost like a George Washington. Hey, you did this. Now you have to cede power and walk away. And I'm talking when General Washington did that before he became president.
Yeah.
You've got to walk away, and it's okay. And if you don't, I didn't like how she said, if you don't, we're going to drop the hammer on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not only we're going to drop the hammer on you, but we're going to go after all your people. But you know, like she made that sound really threatening. I didn't like that. I really kind of would have preferred that be more, if you don't do this, then the tribunal is they'll come after you and all those, and I can't stop them. But if you do this, I can end it right now.
Well, I think that's
And
where I see
be
her. I think that's where I see her as a politician doing the political thing. You need to not be here. A thing I've seen quite a bit. You know, I'm involved in state politics, and
I was going to say let's own our stuff,
Right.
because you're in politics on some level. I am, you know, I'm a baseball coach. I get in politics at the local Parks and Rec League. That's about it.
which is some
And
serious politics.
I try to stay out of those politics, to be honest with you. I don't want anything to do with that stuff anymore. Let
So
me drop off my kid and pick him up and let's go. I don't want to be a
Right.
part of that stuff anymore.
in state and local politics, and even at the federal level, this happens to a point, but you've got your kind of representative positions, a state legislature, your state house, whatever, and then you have what they call statewide positions. This would be like a secretary of state or a treasurer or a labor commissioner, governor even, but those statewide elected positions. And as political alliances, this has nothing to do with friendship or respect necessarily, but as political alliances are built and plans are laid out, sometimes someone is seen as a barrier. I can remember, I don't know, 15 some odd years ago, we had two very prominent Democrats in our state Senate. One was the Senate president, and the other basically led the minority caucus against them within the Democratic caucus. And she just stonewalled everything that they try and do as a party. So the party decided to prop her up for statewide office, to go run for a statewide position, to honor her, right? Go do this great thing. You've done a lot of great service. Go here, do this thing. Also, get out of the way of the legislators that are trying to get things done, in a representative piece. I really see that as a thing here with Sheridan. It's the same. Look, I can't have you running for this, but I will prop you up. I will turn you into a legend and a hero,
Right.
but go away, because you're going to stop me from doing the things I want to do, and that my party or consortium or however their system is set up wants to have happen here. And I think that the fact that she did drop
that's
the hammer,
fair. That like I think that's fair. Like, we can't govern with your ghost being here.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it really,
Right.
like I can't do that with you continuing to loom over this. I think that's a similar reason when like a president or a CEO steps down from a company, they can't just still be around because the ghost is still there. Like they've got to go away, physically go away. So, which, by the way, is why Gene Roddenberry did not want any references and a whole lot of talking about the original series when Next Generation came around, because he didn't want that looming over. And when they brought DeForest Kelley into the first one as a cameo, he didn't even play Bones. He was just some old dude dressed up in makeup. You could barely tell who he was.
That's terrible makeup.
It's awful.
So Bester comes in. Well, there's a lot of this episode was Sheridan waiting. And so we got the Luchenko stuff that happened that we just talked about. And then Bester walks in.
Yeah. I have a question for you about this Bester thing.
Yeah.
You and I have given the Bester storyline a lot of flack. All right. I want to go all the way back to the very beginning from the first time we saw Bester come on with his little person, and they're doing mind scans, and they're here to look for people, and then they're looking for rogue telepaths, and the Underground Railroad, and him and Talia and dissecting her, and he has his girlfriend, and turns out they can actually stop the shadows, but his girlfriend's a rogue telepath, and all of this stuff. And then they don't turn up during the Vorlon Shadow War that you have given a lot of flack for, and suddenly they were, your fight is my fight, Captain. And then we come here. Oh, and then the whole Garibaldi thing. Like, I need to know what you need to know. That had absolutely nothing to do with anything else. Cool storyline, cool sideline, nothing to do with anybody else. Does this conclusion, and I'm going to call it that for now, because who knows what happens in season 5, but does this conclusion for Bester leave you in a satisfying spot?
No.
They did bring back up his girlfriend, and they gave some more motivations. No,
not at all. Not at all. I think where I lost it for him was one that he keeps calling Carolyn his lover. That is just a really
it's a bad line. Yeah. It's a bad line. Yeah.
It's uncomfortable to hear that.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think that he was swinging hard. Sheridan was swinging hard. But the last thing they left on was Sheridan being like, Garibaldi's going to kick your butt. Watch out. He's going to beat you up. And I'm just like, really? That's what you have? You've got that? That's it? Like, you just laid out, and Bester didn't quite deny that he has a massive plan to have the telepaths under his control take over everything. And you fire back with Garibaldi's going to beat you up. Like, I want more Bester stuff. I'm interested in what he's going to do with this, with the virus. I don't believe that he destroyed the virus. He's got the antidote. I think that I've been cheering for him to be an anti-hero this whole time. No, he needs to be the super villain. He needs to be Clark times 10 coming in and not being manipulated by Psychor, but him doing the manipulating. They set that up in this. I'm excited for that.
It's interesting because when we first met Bester and through the first couple of seasons with Bester, it very much felt like Bester was in control of Psychor. If not like the top guy, like he's high enough in the organization, he's making stuff happen. That's what it felt like. But lately it doesn't feel like that.
Not at
like
all.
It really feels like he's got his role that he's playing, and yeah, he's high up there, but he's not in the council chambers, so to speak.
Yeah.
He's not in the boardroom. He's a psychop. He's out doing field work. That's what he does. And
we saw him getting told what to do,
Exactly.
know? Like, yeah.
Exactly. He was not in that meeting with Morden and the Earth Senator and the Psychop. So it was above his pay grade. So to see Bester seize control of Psychor could be a super interesting season 5 plot. And and listen, Delin told us about this the telepath war.
Yeah.
I hope that's what gets picked up in season 5. The Drock thing and the telepath thing. I hope that's what gets picked up for season 5.
I don't care about the Drock thing. I'll just say that right up. I'm in. If Bester is leading the telepath thing, I am here for Bester. But in this moment, in this scene, am I okay with where they left Bester? No. That whole scene just left me with a no.
I'm not either. It does provide some closure for me to the whole girlfriend issue.
Yeah.
And that's about as far as it takes me. But I think there's still so much more Bester stuff that could happen. And I think you're right. I think Bester certainly could. Of all people, Jeff, Bester could be this show's Gul Dukat.
Yes.
As a character who he's bad. Oh, wait a minute. He's actually sympathetic. Actually, he might be I kind of see it from his perspective. He's turned a corner. What? Look, he could actually start. Oh yeah, never mind. He's absolutely the worst person. And he's gone so far off the deep end. We've got to throw this guy down the fire caves. Is my camera caught up yet? I know
Not
my
yet.
Did you hear? Was my voice okay the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard
That's the
everything you
important
said.
piece.
Yeah.
So see, you guys all out there. See, look, this is. I don't know why is my camera jittery? I don't
This is gonna be a fun video for people who've had a lot of hiccups.
It's okay.
That's what we get for saying that we were going to do it. So
No, this is the behind the scenes. This is how it goes. Sometimes you got to deal with the connections and technology and stuff like that. And Jeff's gonna make it sound pretty for the audio side.
So
You guys just get to laugh at us in the middle of this. So
the one last that I have on just kind of I'll say like the pre-resignation speech stuff and everything that happened in here was we opened up with an ISN report, telling us that, hey, the president's doing this investigation and they're going to examine and learn more about how the president took his own life. In fact, we've left the room undisturbed and left the body there for examination. But somebody's draped
I loved this part.
the traitor to Earth sign, handwritten
Yep.
traitor to Earth sign on him and covered him where there's blood coming out of his chest, even though he shot himself in the head. And in the last episode, we actually watched them wheel his body away, but they're leaving the room undisturbed for
That's right.
examination.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't think too much about it, Jeff.
I'm just getting way pedantic in this one, I think.
You
but
are. Yeah, you are.
I wanted more out of this episode. You know what I mean? Like I don't
Do you know something I wanted more out of this episode? In the very opening scene where we first met the interim president.
Mhm.
What is her name? I did not catch her name. Do you know?
Luchenko.
Luchenko. She's at the podium talking. Okay. This made me stop and go back and watch it again. Behind her is her like little aide, her attache, a very young 20-something looking year old dude. While she's talking, like obnoxiously so, somebody else comes up onto the podium, hands him some paper, whispers in his ear. He whispers back. They have a whole conversation. Then he grabs paper and just sits there and looks forward. I want to know what that conversation was.
Yeah.
Something happened. Like I kept expecting him to like interrupt her and say, "We got to get out of here. Something's going down." Like, nope, none of that ever happened. I want to know what that is. It probably might have just been their lunch menu, what they were having for lunch. It really could have just, but to do that on screen, and I mean, I thought that was so good. I really wonder if JMS wrote that into the script, because that's something you see all the time whenever you're watching people deliver these speeches.
Mm-hmm.
Is an aide comes in and talks and whispers behind, and then they walk away. Like you see that all the time. And the fact that we saw that on screen here, I wonder if that was a script piece or if that was a directorial job. But either way, I thought that was really good. But I really want to know, really want to know what that
Maybe
is.
that's one of the seeds for season 5.
Well, nothing's wasted in this show, Jeff.
Ever. Not a single thing.
Can we talk about Ivanova for a minute?
I don't want to, but yeah.
Okay. Her crying scene, I think might have been Claudia's best acting moment of the whole series.
It was amazing.
She did so good in this scene, and it effectively was her final scene.
It really was. Because she's gone now.
We lost Marcus and Ivanova. They killed Ivanova. Then they sent Marcus to take her place and brought Ivanova back to send her off again. What the hell is going on, Jeff?
I know, it's terrible.
Unless whatever ship this is going to be stationed at Babylon 5 and Ivanova's still going to be around.
And maybe
Like,
she's a part-timer from this point forward.
You know, is she leaving? I'm assuming she's leaving the show and she's not in season 5.
I don't know what she did after this. You know, I know that she's worked, Claudia Christian has worked quite a bit, did a ton of incredible voice work.
Yeah.
But like we've talked about, we've known this is it. Season 4, P10's folding. This is the end of the road. She probably got another gig. And so this was, I don't know.
Or it was a Terry Farrell situation. It was contracts were up, contract disputes. They couldn't get her to re-sign. They didn't want to pay her what she was worth, you know, and they opted, or somebody pissed somebody off.
Maybe.
And,
I doubt that.
You know,
But I don't know.
But think about the emotional journey we've been on with Ivanova over the last couple of episodes where they effectively killed her.
Yeah.
And then they had her in a halo and she was going to die. And this whole scene between her and Sheridan of saying, yep, you're going to get it. And then to have Marcus go through his whole piece, only just to have Marcus die. And now I mean, this is a Romeo and Juliet situation. They're both gone, Jeff.
They're both gone.
Both gone.
Although I'll tell you, I mean, to your point, Ivanova could come back here and there. We could see her. Also, hitting the sci-fi trope, we never saw Marcus's body.
That is fair.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
But they told us he was dead.
Yeah.
They said he is dead, even though we didn't see it. They said he is dead. So do you think, Jeff, was this Ivanova's planned trapdoor? We know JMS built trapdoors in for all of his characters. We saw the exit for Sheridan, for Sinclair. I'm sorry, he's going to go be the Minbari guy.
Mm-hmm.
We never saw what happened to Lou. Where did Lou go? Remember Lou?
Seriously, Lou became Zach, I think.
Yeah, and
which is too bad. I like Lou.
And now we've lost. Oh, and then let's hear. Lita left, and then she came back. Dr. What's his face? Kyle.
Dr. Kyle, Benjamin Kyle.
Dr. Kyle left. Takashima. She left. And now Ivanova is getting promoted to captain.
Kodoth, Natoth.
We never heard anything about Natoth. Where is Natoth?
Natoth died on the Narn homeworld, on Narn.
Oh, good. That's right. And good.
Yeah. They killed the right one.
Yeah. That was.
Maybe it is though, because it's also.
Kodoth got spaced. That's right.
She did. Yeah.
Yeah.
But with this being Ivanova's trapdoor, maybe because it is honestly a thing that could have happened at any point. There've been a lot of space battles.
Yeah.
All they have to do is write in the scene where the ship's navigation piece gets blasted and they run into a piece of debris when she's on the bridge. Like, it's a trapdoor they could have placed most anywhere.
Sure.
It made a lot of sense here. It was great, a great spot for it, but it could have been in season 3.
Jeff, this leaves me with the realization I'm just now piecing together. The top 3 people on Babylon 5 are no longer in place.
Wow.
Sheridan's gone.
Yeah.
He's not going to be the president, so he's just going to have an office over there somewhere. He's not even going to get to keep his own office. He's not running Babylon 5 anymore. Ivanova's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And Garibaldi is not chief of security. Does that mean the most senior member on the staff at Babylon 5 is Zach?
Zach or Lieutenant Corwin.
Oh, Jeff.
Yeah. But you know what I could see though, because what wasn't clear to me, here's if Babylon 5 is coming back under Earth Force or not. I don't think it even came up. So maybe Delenn takes over.
I just assumed with the end of the war, Earth is back in control of Babylon 5 because it's still their station.
Well, that was Sheridan's thing. We are leaving until Clark is out of power.
Now we're here.
One of the terms of the Interstellar Alliance agreement was that the colonies were going to vote on their sovereignty, and Earth had to recognize that.
Yeah.
So I wonder if Babylon 5 will go through that process, or if they'll just go back to it.
I mean, Sheridan basically said Babylon 5 was its own colony, declared themselves a colony. And so maybe they have to go back and vote on that. That's a good point. But I'm just saying, okay, let's assume Ivanova's gone. She's not coming back. Sheridan's moved over to president. Garibaldi is on his honeymoon with Lise, which, by the way, that whole thing with Lise, I didn't need at all.
No.
The whole Daffy Duck glitter bomb thing. Like,
it was funny, but I didn't need it. And
I didn't need it. I didn't mind it. I didn't hate it. Did not hate it. But it was so tertiary to everything else that was happening.
And they're going to send like 8 Rangers to help with this? Like, really? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I agree. I think the whole thing was just to set up that, hey, Garibaldi, Lise is the head of Edgar's Industries. Apparently there's no board of directors or anything. It's just a survivorship piece, and Garibaldi's going to work for her.
And they got married. Garibaldi and Lise got married.
They did?
That's what he said. He said, they're going to think I only married you for your money.
Oh, okay.
So I'm assuming that both Sheridan and Delenn and Lise and Garibaldi are now married.
Lise Hampton, Edgar's Garibaldi.
I hope she drops a couple of those names. Yeah. And then Jakar absolutely peeping on.
Dude.
Here's the craziest thing. Bro literally left his eye on the table, pointed at them.
Right there.
he didn't hide it inside a stuffed animal or a toy or hide it in a jar and make it look like one of the rocks. No. He left his eyeball on the table.
Yeah. I got to read my note just on this because like that scene and then Jakar eating rice, you know, and then the all the stuff. Are Londo and Jakar just comic relief now?
No. I think having Londo and Jakar being able to do a little buddy, provide a little of the comic relief moving stuff forward is greatly needed after the last 3 seasons of conflict between the two of them.
I just hate, and we talked about this last week, so I won't dwell on it, but like it literally goes from pray I never notice you again to I'll sign the statement but not on the same page to I'm watching oh my eye, I'm just
They both had confetti on their like in their hair and on top of their head, yeah, like from I guess the wedding.
But in like 5 episodes, like that's the scope of that was I hate you and will murder you to now we're gonna joke about me eating rice because I've never eaten rice before. Like, am I supposed to believe that? I don't know.
Well, Jeff, I mean, it's let's not say that it's exactly a buddy friendship because there also was one of the sickest burns we've heard in this entire series between Londo and Jakar.
Right, it's true.
Where Londo full on calls Jakar a minute man.
Yep, a 2 minute man. Yeah. But again, total comic relief, all to set up the announcement that, oh, by the way, Londo, hey, I don't know if you realize this, the series getting cut short. We had this whole storyline planned for you and me because I'm Veer telling you this news. Yeah, you're going to be Emperor, and maybe we'll touch on that in the next episode. Maybe we won't.
You're gonna be Emperor. We already know where it leads because we had War Without End. Like that's the thing. We already know how this comes out because of War Without End.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least one way that this could come out.
To me, it's just I don't know. I'm trying not to be Mr. Pedantic here, but the last time we saw anything related to the Centauri was Regent Jokey McJoker guy getting that little controller thing on his neck, and now he's sick and he's going to die, and Londo's going to be Emperor. Did that have anything to do with anything? I mean,
buddy, don't forget, Londo this whole time has been the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
Now he has what's the word? Abdicated his role, and he shouldn't have. And there's no way that I'm going to take somebody who's abdicated their role and turn them into the Emperor.
Right.
You know, I mean, unless they did it because he's the only palatable solution among everybody. You know, and he's also probably going to be the easiest person to kill if we need to.
True.
So, yeah, but I'm sorry, Jeff. Just he said what he say. He's like, you know, if you go to 2 minutes and you make it, I'm sure that's great. But you know, we go hours. We're not even to the good parts yet.
They got 6 bases they got around.
Right.
It takes
he's
time.
Like, and he's like, I'll help you with your little problem. Poop on you. Sorry. That's when Brent's Londo impression turns into insult the comic dog.
That was a short leap right there. That was a short walk. Oh wow. Oh man, a couple just other notes I had here was when Delenn introduces the proposal to Londo and Jakar, and Londo is just giddy beside himself, and he says, "So rarely have I been in the presence of living history." And I was like, let me remind you of that time you genocided the Narns. Like, maybe there's that where you were part of living history.
Yeah, we aren't thinking about that. We don't bring that one up. You know what, Jeff, as you say this, given a few more episodes, or maybe if they would have started this, I don't know, back during like episode 7 or 8 of this season.
Yeah, and that weird hump that we were in for a while.
Yeah. You know what I think would have been a great Londo and Jakar story if we put it through? To go from "you better pray I never see you again, I never notice you again," to "I'll sign it, but not on the same page. And then continue to put them in situations where both of their voices were needed. Not that they're joking around with each other. Maybe they start busting each other's balls a little bit, or whatever their body parts are, pouches, appendages,
Tentacles,
right? Like it's a slow buildup of like the first time Jakar has some sort of an insult back to Londo. Like that's a huge step.
Yeah.
Like that's Quark sitting there going, that man loves me. Like with Odo, right? That's my third.
That's your third. Might be your fourth.
But something like that. A slow burn where, hey, Londo and Jakar, we need you guys both to be on this because it matters that the Centauri and the Narn do this. Hey, we're going to dissolve the League of Non-Aligned Worlds, and we need you guys to have your, not just sit here and laugh because I gave you a heads up to it, but no, we need your support.
Mm-hmm.
You have to work together on this, guys. Because of the fight that you've just been in, the clout that you bring by working together is needed for this moment right here. That's why it would have been important to see Londo and Jakar both giving a speech to the Earth.
Yeah.
Ambassadors, people to join this new alliance, and not just have Londo sit over there with his arm on the back of the chair.
Yeah. So we got it short given to us. We got it rushed and compacted. And I think it's to me, it's turned them into comic relief in this whole thing.
I 100% see where you say that. I am interpreting it as what I just said, just sped up really fast.
Yeah.
Really, really fast.
I agree with that.
Jeff, I have one more note.
Okay.
I said earlier this episode made me mad. It made me laugh. And it made me cry.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jeff, when I say cry, I don't mean a tear rolled down my cheek. I'm talking full on blubbering. Had to stop the video, excuse myself, go dry my face, and just sit there and have a whole moment to myself.
Really?
Okay, that might be a little bit of an exaggeration,
okay,
but this was a big deal to me. And I texted you and you were like, well, what was it? And I was like, we'll talk about it. The moment Sheridan was reunited with his dad.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, ever since I became a father, I can't handle these movies where something happens to the son, or like these, like I lose it on these movies in ways that I've never been able, like I never would have before. This moment where he's just, Bruce Boxleitner played this to perfection.
Yeah.
Dad. And dad just sitting there like, son, I'm here. They didn't even touch mom. And president, well, we'll catch up on that later. Like it was such a touching moment. And I cry. I'm
wow.
Just thinking about it right now. Like it was such a great moment given everything they've been through, the respect that the Sheridans have for each other. When right before he succeeded from Earth, right before he mutinied, he called his dad, and his dad said, son, you go do what you need to do.
Yep.
Sheridan would not have been able to do what he needed to do. I dare say the Vorlon thing would not have happened the way it did. And Earth would still be under rule of Clark if it weren't for Mr. Sheridan.
Totally.
Mr. Sheridan is the most important person in the Babylon 5 universe.
I can't argue with that at all.
The crux for everything. He brought down the shadows. He brought down the Centauri. He
brought down President Clark.
Yes, he freed Mars because of what he did and who he was.
He was such a great dad. I think just the two things that stood out to me on top of like what you said, Bruce's just portrayal. That was, so good. But hey, like I don't care if you're president. I don't care whatever. You're good. I'm good. Like all this other stuff is noise. We're good.
Yeah.
And then the immediate non-questioning acceptance of Delenn. Hey,
right.
Heard you're joining the family. Welcome.
Yeah.
Oh, Incredible. I have one last question for you.
Okay.
What does it mean that all love is unrequited?
This is the single line that, and I don't know that I have ever disagreed with a single line in this entire series so much as I disagree with this line. I have watched this episode twice now, and my impression is that this is Ivanova's experience. This is something she is saying that protects herself, that excuses her from what she's done, what she hasn't done, and it speaks to her experience. In no way, shape, or form. By the way, I'm sorry, let me come back to this. You and I have said throughout the course of the show that Ivanova is JMS's mouthpiece in the show. And if she's leaving, I don't know what's going to happen. But she has been his mouthpiece. I wonder if this isn't also JMS's personal philosophy of love and how things have happened. And you know, she talked about people leaving that she really thought she could trust, and the people that stayed were actually people you didn't really want at all. And all love is unrequited, Steven. And then she hugs Steven.
Yeah.
Like, do you not recognize the love that's happening between you and Steven right now? It's not all erotic love, right? It is also, there's unconditional love, brotherly love, sister. Like there's not all love is unrequited. I summarily reject that idea, while at the same time respecting that could be Ivanova's personal experience, and I don't want to crap on that. But if I could grab her hands and look her in the face, look her in the eyes, and say, Ivanova, I love you, and you're wrong on this one. Not all love is unrequited. And if you were to look around, you would see lots of people who love you. Let's look at Rabbi Koslov, who came across the galaxy or universe or whatever to get to you because he cared about you. He postponed going home for you because he loves you. Let's talk about Talia, who very much was reciprocating your love. You know, it took you putting down your walls for that to happen. Marcus was throwing himself at you for years, and you were the one who sat back and said no. Your father tried to reach out to you. Your mother loved you. You look at the relationships you've built around Babylon 5 and time here between Sheridan, Sinclair, and you're hugging Steven. Michael, remember when her and Michael were snipping back and forth only in a way that good friends could, and like I was even like, there's some sparks there. I could see that, and it never happened. And you were absolutely right to say, I hope that never happens. They just stay friends. That needed to, like, Ivanova is wrong, and I'm so sorry that this has been her experience. I'm so sorry that, assuming I'm right about the JMS thing, I'm so sorry for him that if that has been his experience.
Yeah.
But I summarily reject that notion that all love is unrequited. Beautiful line, though. Beautifully said. Wouldn't surprise me if some people have it tattooed on their body somewhere.
Probably, yeah. And I think it sets something up. One, you talk about Franklin hugging. Franklin was incredible in this. He was a great friend. He was a great listener. He was a great support. This was a peak moment for Franklin. Also, he didn't say much, which helps. But then that got repeated.
You know what else he did really well too? He was able to break the tension at just the right moment.
Right?
Yeah. Did you really just say boff? Like,
right.
He was able to break that and move you into another space, which was good.
Yeah, he was really good in that one. But then Lanier brought that up to Delenn. Hey, you know, did you hear that they said this? Which is kind of creepy that the Minbari are getting transcripts of what conversations are happening in private. But you know, Delenn like looks at him and she's like, "Oh, it's not true. That's not true at all. Love is requited." And Lanier's just looking at her like, "You have no idea what you're even talking about right now." But I think, to your point, it's a mismatch of love. He has romantic love for her. Mm-hmm. She has, I don't know, parental, maybe, you know, sort of a love for Lanier. But I can fully believe that she loves Lanier. So maybe it's not that all love is unrequited, but maybe your loves don't always quite match up. Maybe.
Well, I don't know. Do you think that Delenn had a thing for Ducat, that Ducat did not necessarily return for Delenn in that same way? Still having love for Delenn as a student, I guess you would say?
I didn't get that impression. I know we talked about that in Atonement, where you thought that she did have a thing for him.
Mhm.
I didn't get that in there, but it would also speak to her understanding. Hey, it's not unrequited. Like, there is no unrequited love. It's just mismatched.
Right. Well, Jeff, I think with that, we have exhausted this episode almost. And we have reached that part where we kind of boil this all down and we see if this episode has any of that Star Trekkie quality we've been talking about now for nearly 4 seasons. Are there deep moral messages? Is it holding up a mirror to society? Is it giving us hope that things could be better in the future? Is it giving us a roadmap for how to do it? How do we do this? And also at the same time, we're looking for, how does this do it in a way that only Babylon 5 could do it and provide us an hour's worth of entertainment? So Jeff, you are going to do that. You're going to glump all of that together and you're going to rate this show on a scale of 0 to 5 Delta Furies to see how strong the message is and how Babylon 5 it was delivered. Jeff, how many Delta Furies are you giving Rising Star?
Giving it 5 Delta Furies.
Fantastic.
For a lot of reasons. One, this episode is the payoff and culmination of so many things that we've built in season 4 and throughout this series. Almost at the head of the pack is humanity. We talked about this before, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but humanity as the focus and the locus and the glue and the bond, the communities that we've built, the power and the strength of diversity. We've talked about this so many times in what is likely our highest Delta and Fury rated season so far.
You think so?
I bet it is. I bet it is. I know some people have been tracking those, but we actually had this conversation off mic a while ago of like, are we being too generous on the Delta Furies? But
yeah,
I also think like this season's been hammering this stuff home. And we got that in this. We got it heavy in the payoff of the Interstellar Alliance. Jakar spoke so well to it, has spoken so well to it. Sheridan spoke well to it. His role said that. I love Luchenko in this episode also. She talked about both sides having sacrificed and lost so much and that they were fighting for the same thing. She's not trying to blame anyone. She's not going out for blood or for vengeance. She wants to move forward and she wants to seek justice for the people that were maliciously doing things wrong. That's not how things go down today. If let's just say, I don't know, hypothetically, that there was an insurrection pointed at the United States government. It's a hypothetical situation.
Could never happen.
Never. It would never happen. Especially, it's just not possible. But if hypothetically that happened, the leadership.
Well, I mean, it did happen once.
Just once?
1861.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was one time.
Literally fought a whole war over it.
Only one time. Ever. Anything like that happened. But if that had happened, the politicians in power would be pointing fingers and would be laying blame. Luchenko wants to heal and move forward. I think it showed so much leadership to come in and not make it an us versus them, but to make it an us situation. We all sacrificed. We all battled. That's hope for the future right there in this newly elected president. Our strength, back to the strength piece though, I just think that the Interstellar Alliance, we know that it's going to last at least 20 years because it comes up in War Without And. And in War Without End, they talk about the peace that will last 1,000 years. And in this, we get the added context of it not being an enforced peace, but a created peace. I think that what this also does in setting up that Interstellar Alliance based on the community building and the strengths and diversity that humanity brings forward, is that we can come together without the assumption of hostile intent. We can come together under assumptions of positivity and growth. We can create and foster real agreements. We can share information, and we can assume and work towards equity and justice. That's what this United Federation of this Interstellar Alliance is all about doing. And I think that it all happened because of what we've seen overarch through all of this series. So based on what we saw in the episode and the fact this is the culmination of 4 full seasons of Babylon 5, this is five Delta Furies.
If I could add to what you're just saying there, don't forget the exact words that Sheridan said. You mean that I've learned a lot of things on Babylon 5, like we are better together. I mean, nothing, we're better together than apart. Nothing says Star Trek and the Star Trek message like that idea right there, which, by the way, that's not unique to Star Trek.
No.
That should be across the board. And that really is the point. You know, we use Star Trek as the gimmick, but it really is the point. This is something that, frankly, we need to be saying to our leaders in real life. To those people that are in government. Listen, folks, I'm going to tell you this. I know we have a lot of people that listen to this show, and every time we talk about this, we always get emails, hey, you could leave that talk out or whatever. The show brought it up, so
yeah, it's Babylon 5.
It's our job to talk about it. I'm speaking specifically to Americans right now. I bet, depending on whatever country you're in, and I just want to recognize that over half of our listeners are not here in America; they are international. Take this and apply this to your country. I bet it probably applies. And if it doesn't, please write me, because I want to know where you live, because I might move.
What are the visa requirements?
Exactly. I got to check on some certifications, but we might be able to make this work. I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat. Do you know what makes America so great and what has made America work so well? Is the fact that when you harness both of those, and you harness them, the fact that we're better together. Not that when one party, and this has been, honestly, when things go bad, it's when the two groups refuse to work together anymore. That's when it goes bad, and they just start sniping at each other, and it's this political maneuvering, and that is what leads to these extremes that we have seen out of both parties, and those extreme groups grow and wind up taking over control, as opposed to actually being able to come together with your differences, owning your biases for where they are, and being able to dialogue and have that conversation and draw on the strength of each other in order to find the best way to move forward. The problem lies when people stop working together. But the truth is, we are better together than apart. Not, hey, well, we're in control right now, so you just sit back and suck it up while we're here in control. Better luck next time. And we're going to change all the laws to make sure that we stay in control. That's dumb. That is not the way that things work best. And I will take this out of politics and I'll put this into business. The Walt Disney Corporation. The Walt Disney Corporation has always worked best, always ran best when there were two people at the head. Somebody who was creative and somebody who was business-minded. And every time that Disney has been in control with a single solo person, one of those two pieces have been neglected and things have fallen to the wayside. Michael Eisner, Frank Wells, Walton Roy, the two golden eras of the Disney Corporation. I love Bob Iger. Not even Bob Iger has been as successful as what those guys were able to bring. We're better together than apart, Jeff.
I remember. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, to say that this is a 5-star Delta rating, honestly, you're right. Everything has led to this moment. Everything we've watched over the last 4 seasons has led here. I kind of want to just be done.
I feel like we kind of are.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I'm trepidatious moving forward, but if this is what we came to, somebody said to us a long time ago, Jeff, when you get to the end, you're going to find out that Babylon 5 actually was more Star Trek than Star Trek.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of feeling that right now based off of what we saw here.
Yeah.
This is what Enterprise should have been in the founding of the Federation, is kind of what we just saw right here.
It's much better. version of it for sure.
Yes.
To your earlier point, I remember about 9 years ago, we had this magical moment in the Oregon State Legislature. Our House side has 60 seats in it.
Mm-hmm.
And that year, for those 2 years, we had 30 Republicans and 30 Democrats. It was a dead heat. And so every committee was co-chaired. And it was so incredible because there was no noise. The only bills that got heard were bills that were necessary, infrastructure bills, tax things, just important issues that were in front of us. There wasn't politicking that happened because there was nothing to politic because they were dead even. And so they had to work together. The Republican chair and the Democrat chair had to agree on what bills were introduced to committee. It was perfect. It was such a productive session. I say that as a bureaucrat, but even as a citizen and a taxpayer, it was the most effective I've ever seen a state government run, and it didn't turn into a stalemate. It'll be a stalemate, nothing will move forward. No, it kills the noise, and we actually focus on those important things that truly impact people's lives. We came together. And now we have to come together, specifically you, Brent. I had to rate this on Delta Furies. You've got to rank this one. Our top 5 right now for those keeping score. Number 1 is Into the Fire. 2, Intersections in Real Time. 3, No Surrender, No Retreat. Then The Long Night. And in number 5, Atonement. Brent, where are you going to put Rising Star?
Jeff, remind me what Atonement was. That was the episode with the Delin dreaming, right?
Ducat, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic episode. Jeff, this is the week that Atonement loses top 5 status.
Wow.
This was a fantastic episode. Do you know my favorite Star Wars movie?
Which one is it? Empire?
Return of the Jedi.
Really?
Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
You know why? Because it concludes the series. Everything pushes to that. My favorite of the prequels, Revenge of the Sith. Same reason. I wish I could say the same thing about Rise of Skywalker.
True. That'd be great.
Do you know my favorite Lord of the Rings movie? Return of the King.
Okay.
Why? Because it pulls everything together and does exactly it pays everything off. There's something about paying everything off that I absolutely love. This episode felt like it paid everything off. I have no idea what we're going to end up with next week. You're going to ask me here in a few minutes and I'm going to pull something out of the air because I just don't know where we go from here. My only question was this ending more or less satisfying than the ending of the Vorlon Shadow War? Is this our new number 1 or is this our number 2?
Wow.
That's where this episode goes to me. I loved this episode. Despite all the issues, and rightly so, that you just brought up, I don't care because I'm getting where they're going for it.
It's an interesting question because they, in a sense, they both ended the series, right? I mean, they ended with the voiceover and they ended with here's what happens and here's where we are now. It's a fitting battle to be going on.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to bring this one in, and I'm going to place this at number 2. This is our new number 2. Into the Fire was so tense. It had such stakes within that episode, and it resolved everything. This episode did not have the stakes or the tension. This episode had all the resolution. But still, I look at this episode and I think of the entire rest of the series. And it all gets poured into this episode, which puts this one up at number 2. This was a great episode. And Sheridan's whole thing where he's kicking back, he's got his feet up on the desk when they walk in, like, you knew. And the guy even says, where's the amnesty paper? Because I'm going to take it back. And he's like, no, you're not.
Gave it to the press.
That's why I got it in writing.
Yep.
It's like, damn it. And then he comes out, Mr. President. Yeah, you're right. You better call me Mr. President.
Right.
So, but I'm placing this at number 2, Jeff.
All right. That's it.
Argue with me.
I'm not going to argue with you. I can't. Doesn't matter.
You're not allowed.
I would, but I'm not going to. So maybe that'll happen in the season 4 wrap up. That's happening in 2 weeks.
That's right. Everything's got a chance.
That's it for Rising Star. Here it is, the season 4 finale, Brent. It's called The Deconstruction of Falling Stars. It's a lot of words. We're going to be watching that next week for the first time. We haven't looked at the show description, synopsis, thumbnail, anything. All we know is that it concludes a season that has already concluded. We like to play a game where we predict what's going to happen in the next episode. So, Brent, what do you think the deconstruction of Falling Stars is going to be about?
Okay, Jeff, this is where my knowledge of Babylon 5 history is failing me. Did they shoot this next episode before or after knowing that they got picked up for the 5th season? Because if they're going it like that changes it. That changes it from, oh, hey, we're getting picked up, so now we've got to change our ending to give us a season 5 and lead us into season 5. Or no, we actually, like, this was the episode we were going out on, and this would have served as the series finale.
Yeah. And I don't know the answer. I don't know if they knew it or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Point.
I'm not sure. The deconstruction of Falling Stars.
Also, please do not tell us. Please don't.
Thank you. Yes. We'll figure it out later. What I tell you, like this specific question of did they know? I am glad to know after we see episode 1 of season 5.
Agreed. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Don't tell us this week. Don't tell us in the comments right now.
Yeah, and all I want to know is yes, they did. No, they didn't. The stories of how things went down, especially if it impacts season 5, I don't want to know. Like, let us find out as we go through. Yeah. This is me stalling, trying to think of what. I don't think I've ever taken this long thinking of an episode. You know what I think this is? I was teasing it earlier. I don't remember if we were on mic or off mic. I think this is a clip show. This is the deconstruction of falling stars. Whatever falling stars, you wish upon them, they bring you good luck. It's all the characters. This is a deconstruction of the entire show. We're gonna wrap everything up by taking you through from season 1 all the way through season 4, where the journey we've been on so far. So I think this is a clip show that's gonna have clips in it, Jeff.
Wow, recapping
the whole series.
Wow.
I think that's where we're going with this. And it's going to be that touching. It's like the touching tribute to everything we've seen so far. Because the story seems done.
It does.
What about you? What do you think?
I have a little bit of a riff on your idea.
Okay.
Like a clip show, but I'm thinking more Voyager Living Witness. So we're going to move ahead 1,000 years, or whatever, and we're going to get the made up history that exists versus like what really happened. And there's going to be some mechanism through some first one shenanigans that like reconciles the story of what brought us here or something. But it's essentially just going to be a mechanism to be exactly what you described. Like, let's do a little recap of all the things that happened. My other thought, though, and what I think I'm going to actually make my prediction is, did you ever watch the spin-off from the new Battlestar Galactica called Caprica?
I watched 5 or 6 episodes of it and wanted to go back to it, but I never did.
It's definitely worth going back to. It's got such a different feel from Battlestar Galactica, but I appreciated what it did. Well, it got canceled in its first spoiler alert. It gets canceled in its first season, and in the season finale, they did what I think they're going to do in this next one. I'm going to operate from the assumption that they were not picked up yet for a 5th season. And so they're going to do the Caprica thing, or to be clear, Caprica will have done the Babylon 5 thing. And that is, we're going to take an episode or a part of an episode and compress all the pieces we weren't able to shove into season 4 and tell that story somehow. So like, hey, here's what we were going to tell you coming up, but we don't get to because we're on a failed network. We're going to find out right here next week. Thank you all so much for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you're watching or listening to us. Leave us a rating and a review, and share this show. Click the share button. Send it to somebody.
Hey, Jeff.
Who.
Jeff.
Dude, you're early, Brent.
No, dude. I'm never premature.
Well, that's a little bit of a surprise given what I've heard.
Hey, man. For me, hours can go by before I even start getting to the good parts.
Oh, in Valen's name.
I mean, we're not some deep space franchise. The station is about something.
Might be one of my more favorite endings we've done recently.
That's a good ending.
I hope people listen to it.
I just got sad hearing Ivanova's voice.
Are we gonna lose her voice next season? Jeff, have you started working on the next music?
No, tell you what I'm doing over Valentine's Day.
Sorry, hon. I'd like to come to bed with you tonight, but I've got work to do.
I need to make some music for this podcast about a very old sci-fi
Your
show.
wife is like, I need to make some music.
Right.
That has nothing to do with that. Jeff, if you need, I can help you with your little problem over there.
Right. This isn't the time to talk about boffing. That's not the conversation.
Welcome to Club 65, folks. This is, I think the rating gets ranked up in Club 65 from PG to at least PG-13.
A little bit, yeah.
You know, we assume you are all adults at this point, and if you're not,
sorry
to your parents, I guess.
Also, we're probably so much more pedestrian than anything you've ever been exposed to, so so it's fine. It's probably fine.
Jeff, you know what I've loved? So we've had this out for the last 2 seasons now, right? You guys can get our stuff down there, bit.ly B5 Club 65, capital B, capital C. Please don't forget that because it is case sensitive. I love seeing people's gear.
So cool.
It's so much fun seeing people's gear, and how many of you guys out there have been joining us here for Club 65. I like to give you guys everything we can. Like, you guys have stuck around, you've stuck through it. It's an hour and 40 minutes almost now.
Yeah.
Jeff, was there anything from your notes you didn't get to that we can give exclusive to our Club 65 folks right now?
Club 65 exclusives. Yeah, so Bester's all, hey, you got nothing on me. I mean, it's my word against Garibaldi's word, and if you need a scan, you need somebody from Psychor. Lita is Psychor now.
Mm-hmm.
So would her scan be admissible? Touche, Mr. Bester. You get her body, but she's going to send you to prison. Trying to see what else.
So when Garibaldi went in to go get Lise, and he throws in the Daffy Duck bomb.
Is a Porky Pig.
Oh, it was, wasn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking Daffy Duck. I knew it was Looney Tunes, but whatever. And they knocked down that wall. Now, they did not knock in the door. They cut the wall in a pretty good precision cut as well, all the way through, knocked it down. People came rappelling from the ceiling. These folks were ready to go.
Yeah.
This was a well-planned, well-coordinated, well-staged raid on this place.
Not a well-built stage, given how easily that wall fell down.
Right.
But, yeah, the assault was well-staged.
Yeah, but I just, I mean, what does it take for people to come rappelling from the season? You know what it reminded me of was that scene in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation when the SWAT, they come flying off the roof and bam into the windows. And they go running through the neighbor's doors. Like, why are you at the neighbor's house? Come on, man. But I mean, they went all out.
And all for Lise.
All for Lise.
Like that's a $1 billion operation they ran.
Yeah. Yeah. Jeff, let me ask you, if you were Sheridan, would you have taken the president's offer?
Yeah.
In a heartbeat.
That was the right thing
one was
to do.
not even it was the right thing for Sheridan to do, to take that offer. It was
There's
a good
no
offer.
win. Yeah, there's no win for him. I mean, God, it
was
was
a
sweet.
good offer.
Yeah.
It was
You
a
get your
great
pension, you
offer.
get your honors, you get everything. You just need to leave. And Sheridan, I love it. Also, I mean, even if he didn't have the president gig lined up, he's just like, yeah, I got a place to live. Like I'm good.
Dude, he's gonna have a wife. They're gonna have a kid. This is everything he needs to go just be life for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
You know, but still, you can't rewatch this and not hear him say, "Can I get all of that in writing about my crew?" Without going,
Like, look at you,
he
dude.
knows.
Yeah.
Okay, because it was such an innocuous moment your first time through, you know, and it still just kind of blows my mind. Like he knew, but he didn't know, but he knew, but he didn't, but he did, but he didn't.
Yeah.
Like,
What's the whole thing of like, hey, so maybe this thing's gonna happen, and maybe they'll make you these offers. Let's try and make this work out. Like, let's do that.
but I mean, here's the thing. Like, what might have really even more surprised him was like he kind of knew this was going to happen, and it was going to wind up being him. It might not have happened on the same day he got fired from Earth.
Yeah.
He might have had at least some time off between gigs, you know. But he's just sitting back. He's like, you know, it's a wonderful thing about choosing retirement. As soon as you do, somebody comes knocking on the door with a new job offer.
Yep.
It's like, you do. He's like, I had an inkling.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't really know.
It's maybe a thing.
So are we agreed? Season 5 is Telepath War and the Drock War.
I hope.
Like when we get to the season 4 wrap up and we do our prediction, that's spoiler alert. Here's my prediction. Telepath, because what did we say for season 4? I forgot. What did I say for season 4?
I don't remember what you said.
I think
I said this.
I think we had to wrap up the
Shadow War
on Shadow War. I didn't know that we were I didn't know at the time season 4 was where they cut off, or at least it wasn't forefront of my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we were going to wrap up. I think we both agreed the Shadow of Vorlon thing was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Earth was going to happen. And then I called for the Babylon Alliance.
Yeah,
we got
you
there.
did,
But
you?
yeah. But all they've dropped so far for a season 5 would, again, there's Drock Telepath War, or we move a million years into the future for season 5 into Jason Ironheart time.
No, I hope not. You know, here's the thing. And it's making more sense. I do not classify this as a spoiler. All right.
Okay.
I have seen promotional photos of others. Like I've seen the DVD box cover of the next season,
Mm-hmm.
and there is a new chick front and center on this thing. I guess she's going to be the new commander of the station, while Sheridan is going to be the Earth Alliance president, I'm guessing.
Maybe.
You know what I hope? I hope she brings conflict in a dramatic way.
Yeah.
I don't want her to come in and just be like a bitch. Like I don't want that. But be somebody who comes in and brings legitimate conflict of, here's how we're going to run this, and amp not the tension, but amp the dramatic effect up on the station. I don't need to keep coming back to Earth all the time.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I
Earth
mean?
is
Like-
Earth is kind of done. It's going to do its thing. It's Interstellar Alliance and Babylon 5 now.
Versus the telepaths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Drock, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
We'll see
what
what
I
comes
wanna
up in this next one. And
Mhm.
I have no idea how you slap an episode after this one. I don't know how you do it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jeff, why don't we go find out?
That's a good idea.
All
I'm
right,
all
Club
for
65, you guys are awesome. We're going to close out the club for tonight. Drop 65 down in the comments below to let us know you were here. And see you guys next time. Get your gear. Send us pictures. We love seeing the pictures. Bye, guys.